This video will serve as an instruction guide for your Generation 1 service truck, brought to you by National Truck Body Solutions.
When using this truck or any of the auxiliaries, the best way to start out is making sure obviously that the power is on, the park and brake is engaged, the truck is in park, and start by pressing the aux2 upfitter switch. This is going to put power back to your panel in the crane compartment that will allow you to put crane to lights, compressor, and the crane. The next thing you're going to have to do is start the truck. Again, make sure that the park brake's engaged. Your truck's in park. You've got the aux2 switch on, so you have power back to your control panel. And then you're going to press the aux4 switch. You can hear after pressing the aux4 switch that the PTO will be engaged and on. Now you can go back and start up the crane and the compressor. The compartment located underneath the crane, the rear passenger side box, is going to have all your controls for all of your spotlights, to illuminate all of your cabinet lighting, and also for your crane and your air compressor. In order to use either one, you have to make sure the power switch is on back on this master panel. Now we have power to the compressor, and now we have power to the crane. To use your compressor or your crane, you have to make sure that the transmitter is on and talking to the receiver. To do this, toggle any of the switches. You'll see rapid flashing of the transmit signal. Pop out the e-stop. The transmit signal will go mostly solid. And now by pulling the trigger and flipping a toggle, you can get controls of whichever function you want to use. You'll notice on this one the batteries are a little low, so the battery light's clicking. So I'll pull the trigger and do compressor on. And you can hear the compressor is coming on. Something to keep in mind, the VMAC compressor has to go through what's called a soft start, and this is to make sure that the compressor oil heats up to the proper temperature before using it. We're going to turn it off for this. Next, you're pretty much ready to go with any crane functions. Again, it's going to be a simple control of the trigger and using any of the toggles. Keep in mind your proportional controls is how much you pull the trigger on these trucks. So if we pull it full all the way back, we start doing winch up, you'll see the winch goes up. If I start letting off on the trigger and just barely pull it, you can see the speed's much slower. Pull it all the way in, it speeds up. When using the crane, you want to make sure you have the outriggers engaged with the ground. Your outrigger controls are also located in the crane compartment, which is the rear passenger side. Simply use the different toggles. You'll see that one was for passenger side outrigger. That outrigger can also be extended in and out. Again, using the same controls. The first controller to your left is going to be for your passenger side outrigger, up and down. The middle one is going to be for passenger side outrigger, in and out. And the right controller is going to be for driver side outrigger, up and down. Another way to control your truck using this green transmitter, you can actually turn the truck off simply by pulling the trigger and holding the stop toggle. You can hear the truck's completely off now. If you want to start the truck again, you're going to just pull the trigger and bump the engine start pretty quickly. If you keep holding it, it will shut the truck back down. Let's give it a try. Alright, so the truck started back up. If you hold it much longer than I did, you will find that the truck will then shut back off because the engine control unit is getting a signal to start and stop it. It's thinking. You'll also notice when the truck came back on, the PTO came back on. That's because we left the aux4 switch in the on position. These trucks are also outfitted with a 5,000 watt inverter. This one's located in the first compartment right behind the driver's seat. Turn them on. All you got to do, pretty easy, turn the power switch on and you should see the lights come on showing that it's working. You also have a second inverter that is located right in between the driver's seat, passenger seat, on the floor in front of the center console. This allows you to have power for your laptop, electronics, etc.